Cow, Gold and Money. Cow, Gold and Money is the 3rd of April 2023. Cattle and sheep have been part of Irish currency going back into prehistoric times. The Brehon law, which was our ancient native Irish law, is studied by many people, and in it the cow, the calf, the lambs, the rams and the sheep were all mentioned and given a certain legal status about if you reared a calf for someone else, what you were entitled to get in return and vice versa. We don't need to go into that now, but I have asked a few people to provide me with a nice little bit of information, and that is, what was the value of a cow in ancient Ireland? Now, according to them, and from what I understand, the value of a big cow in ancient Ireland was one ounce of gold. So there must have been some form of an ounce at that stage. I don't know what the measurement was, but 1 ounce of gold, I understand it to be equal to today's ounce. Is it a troy ounce you call it? It's a little more than 28 grams roughly, because it's not pure. I think it's impossible to have pure gold. There's a little bit of impurity. It's 99.9. I think that's why it's weighed a little heavier. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now we're going to go through here a few cows. This is a cow here in Calfsoon. That's a fantastic cow. That cow's worth about 2,100 there, but she's in calf. Or normally she'd be worth 18. This one here's in calf, the smaller one you're looking at there, the orangey one, I'd say about 1620, 1630, but she's in calf. This one is awaiting to be served, and she is a young cow, young heifer. She's worth about 12 to 13, maybe 1,300, but she's immature. This one here is in calf, fantastic cow in calf. I'd say worth 1,900 perhaps euros. This is euros, and that little one there is a smaller type, and she's more like the type you would have in ancient Ireland. She's a black whited. Now don't forget, they say a big cow, they'd been a big good cow. There were small cows, and there were short horns, and there were other kinds. They weren't as big as ours today. They were big enough, however, and that one, because she's not a continental breed, will be something coming close to the old cows. This is a heifer here, recently served. I'd say worth about 1,100, but she's not a cow, she's a heifer. This one here is worth about 1,400. This is a fantastic Simmental heifer, worth about 14, but very young. This one here about 14.5, and this one here about 16.5, awaiting to calve. She has about 3 months to go to calve. This one here is reared in 2 calves because of a problem with another cow, and as a result she's getting ration and all that, but she's a bit thin. She's a wee bit thin, so I would say that one wouldn't go much more than 12.5, maybe 13, but she will fatten up, and she's producing really good continental calves. The big Shirley at the back with the droopy horns is a very good breeder. It's probably worth 1,700, I'd say there. This one here is a great cow. That's the one I featured in an earlier video, and there's the calf in the fourth. If you've seen it, there's her calf now, number 22, and that cow there now would be worth about 1,750. The one in there at the back has she has mastitis. She has no other. She's been fattened up. This is her calf here, and he has to be fed by other means. That cow for beef is worth surely 2,000. I'd say that cow's worth 2,000 for beef. That's a good price for that. And then here are smaller ones here, and these are not cows, these are different heifers and things, so they're smaller. But the thing about them is that some of them are reminiscent of the older breed. But if you take a big cow as meaning a good cow at that time, the value of the cow was 1 ounce of gold. So I would think that on average, if we take it one with the other, these cows are worth 1,800 euros on average. So here we have these from 1,400 to 2,200 roughly. And a few years ago I sold one, about 4 years ago, I sold a cow and I got 1920, a big fat cow in the month of July. So all told, I'm making the average price of these at 1,800, 14 to 2,200. You'll always get a bit more, and I do well in the mart because I get good prices, good stock. Now the point is, the average price is 1,800. The average price is 1,800 euros. So today on the international markets, the price of 1 ounce of gold is 1,817 euros, 1,817 euros, 1,817 euros. That's the price of gold on the 3rd of April, 2nd and 3rd of April 2023. And we see the estimated average price per cow here is 1,800, and the price of gold is 1,817. So there's only 17 euros in the difference of the cow value and the gold being slightly more, and there's a good deal of estimating in there. Okay, now the point being, folks, the point being, a cow now today, a good cow, and they use the term a big cow in ancient Irish folklore and all that. A good cow would be a good cow, be a big cow, be a good cow. A big cow would mean good and healthy, and a good cow, whatever purposes she serves. And they give the price at 1,817 an ounce of gold, and now it's worth 1,800. And this, I give you this as evidence about inflation. Gold is not necessarily the best way to make money, but it is definitely over thousands of years the best overall store of value. It is a constant store of value. And I think it's uncanny, really, how in Ireland, maybe 2,000 to 3,000 years ago, gold was worth the very same price as it is today in 2023. So folks, I think that's fascinating. Make what you like out of it. Look what the money has changed. I remember in the late 60s, you'd get a good cow for 65 pounds Irish, or that would be about 72 or 3 euros today. So about early 70s, you'd get that cow there for, well, you wouldn't probably have those continentals, but you'd get her for 74 euros. And today, I forget what price I put on her, but she's certainly worth about 1,700, 16 to 1,700. And the average price of these is 18, and the average price of them back in 73 will be about 75 euros by today's money, and that's allowing for the changing in the money. Gold doesn't change, it holds its value. And that's a very useful exercise for commentators and students of economics and inflation. So for me trouble there, folks, please give me a thumbs up. If you don't agree, give a thumbs down. I don't think there's any need to disagree with me here. And we'll see you back to Real True Education on site, out on this farm, and with this little bit of very, very well researched and very true, good, useful information. Goodbye, and we'll see you back for something else soon.